Hey, everybody. My name is McLeod Chapman, and I want to be your next president. When you're on the road, as much as I have been these last few months, you get to meet a whole lot of different people. Decent, God-fearing American people. You get to hear all kinds of stories. Stories of hard work, big dreams. You get to hear time and time again what makes our nation so great. But no matter how many folks I chat with, no matter where I am, whether it's Arkansas or Georgia, New York or Nevada, I've been hearing this familiar refrain of people feeling pushed around by our president. Of folks feeling hog-tied by their own government. Folks like Harold Walsh from Ashland, Ohio. Now, I was lucky enough to meet Harold when we were rolling through Dayton a few months back, and, well, we got to talking about his pig farm. How his family is in a bad way, all because of the government subsidies they depend on getting cut in half. How he was afraid his family wasn't going to make ends meet this year. Now, a good national economy depends on a good farm economy. I know that. Congress should know that. Poor Harold here knows that better than any fat cat in Washington. But what choice has he got, huh? Now that more than half of his aid has been cut right down the middle, what options does his wife, Suzanne, have now that she can't afford new kids for their 3 little kids? Their youngest, Johnny? He still has to wear the same pair of dusty sneakers he's worn for well over a year now, even though they got enough holes in the soles to make me think they've been chewed on. Now, Harold, he heard that I was going to be in Ohio, so what does he do? He takes off from work, even though he couldn't afford to lose the man hours. He decides to take little Johnny boy with him. The two hop in their truck, and they drive nearly 3 hours, all the way to Dayton, just to hear me talk. To share their hardships with me, to let me know what their government was giving their family and what I was going to do differently about it if I was elected. How are you going to be any different than the last president I voted for? He asked me, point blank. How can I trust you? Well, you want to know what I told Harold? I took hold of that man by the shoulders and I looked him right in the eye and I said, Harold, just give me Johnny. Just hand your son over to me. He's a fine-looking boy, a healthy boy. I'll treat him like he was my own. That's a promise. See? That is already one mouth less to feed. You are already on your way to getting back on your feet. Now, Harold, he looked at me funny at first. He was a proud man. I could see that plain as day. A hard-working man, too prideful to accept a handout he didn't earn, fair and square. But Harold, well, that man handed over his youngest son just as Abraham was ready to lay down Isaac. And I'll tell you one more thing right here and now. Little Johnny's never been happier, huh? We have been feeding him this combination of corn and other grains for the last couple months. That boy's fattening up quite nicely. He is 20 pounds heavier in the haunches than when we first got him. We're going to give him another month to gain a few more pounds, get those loins nice and plump. Then he'll be ready. Harold Walsh, he believes in America, what it once was, what it can be again. And to make our nation great, everybody's got to make sacrifices. Ancient sacrifices. That day in Dayton after our rally, well, Harold drove all the way back home to his farm. 1 child less, yes, but with a guarantee directly from me. Your family shall never go hungry again, Harold. You have made the ultimate donation to our campaign, and the old ones will look kindly upon your sacrifice. It's a new dawn, people. What folks watching at home have got to ask themselves is, how much am I willing to give to make our nation great once again? I give little Johnny boy up until the national convention before we string him up, open up his belly, let him bleed out a little bit. I will read his entrails like they were tea leaves. See my destiny spread out before me. His intestines will foretell my future. That boy is going to lead me all the way to the White House. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to vote. November. Kamala, thank you, guys. Have a good night.